Every time my wife is upset with me, I get the silent treatment. About 85% of the time, I don't even know what I did wrong. Once she has shut down, it's very difficult to get her to open back up. How can we avoid these uncomfortable silent times?
Well, I think about us. And
Thank you.
actually, he gave,
Well, I appreciate that.
He gave me the silent treatment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you should drive me crazy. And so we would get in these volatile conversations, and he would
when
try.
I get mad, I get quiet.
Hello, I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
And he would try to just like, this is the way it is, it's the way it is, the way, and just try to, talk me into, that he is so right and I'm so wrong. And then finally, he realized I would just get, crazy. I mean, I was not a good Christian woman. And so finally, I would say something that just hurt his feelings or something. And he'd just do his walkout and not talk anymore. I'm like, are you kidding me? You got me into this mess, and now you're walking out and leaving me with this mess? And he would go for days and not talk to me. And so this, I love these little things. Y'all need to know this is what it was like. And so we would sit there, and it would be like days of not talking. Just being cordial and making sure that we acted like we liked each other when the kids are around, but not speaking, not calling, not talking for 3 days. And it was just and it was torment. And the more it happened, though, the more I was resistant to ever giving in. And so finally, it was just like his silent treatment didn't work anymore. And so he had to come back and he had to say, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. I
don't like the way you are.
Hey, I've been needing to tell my side of the story forever.
Well, let me say this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Can I get a word in?
No.
So, when I was growing up in my family, when we got mad at each other, we didn't make eye contact. It was just the way it was. I never saw my parents resolve a conflict. They just didn't in front of us. And, I guess they got along, but I'm saying, and so when we got mad at each other in our home, we just didn't make eye contact. You knew how mad you were at each other by how long you didn't make eye contact. If you're just a little frustrated, an hour or two, if it's really bad, a day or two or a week or two or something like that, and you knew it was over because they looked at you again. And so when I just didn't know how to talk about my feelings and things like that. So when Karen and I got married and she would make me mad, I would try to tell her, and now I'm doing it. You got me doing it. Making fun of myself.
Well, hello.
But I would say to her, you did this.
We do.
You did this and this and this and this, and she wouldn't, receive it or whatever. And then when that didn't work, I'd just think, well, and I'd walk out. It was so immature. It's so terrible. But I'm saying I didn't have the skills to be able to talk those things out. And so it says that she's giving me the silent treatment. I don't even know what she's done wrong. Well, it's punishing. It's called punishing silence. So go ahead. Say what else you have to say there.
Okay. Well, anyway, but this is what we would do, to deal with that silent treatment thing. We really realized it was just wasting our energy. It was so tiring to go through 3 days of not, and you emotionally are just exhausted. And it's like, this is just not working. And so, we just finally decided, through the Lord and just, realizing we're taking too many things too personal. Because that's what really was happening. Something would be said and it would trigger something that would just bring an explosive feeling of, how dare you talk to me that way? And it would shut him down more than it would shut me down. And so as time goes on, though, you just realize it's not working. Let's just start talking about these things. And I always say, talk about the important things that could be trigger points before you have fights. If there's sensitive areas in your life, talk about them now when you're not fighting. Like this is a perfect example of this seminar. Walk away from this time now that you're getting so much and start talk now about things in the past or things right now that might hurt your feelings or might y'all need to talk about that says I know you don't mean anything, and that way you can disarm some of the things that cause those explosions.
When you communicate, the first thing is giving your spouse the opportunity to say what they want to say without paying a price. Mm-hmm. And we were both insecure and we were both defensive. And that's a setup for bad communication. And so every time I would say something, it would hurt Karen's feelings. She would begin to respond to me and everything escalated, and that's when I shut down. And again, it was very immature. The difference today is, we can talk. Mm-hmm. And when I tell Karen, Karen, there's a problem or whatever, she's open to that, and I'm open to that. Second thing, we don't forcibly talk to each other. When I talk to Karen, I come to her and I say, I love you. You know, this is going to be okay, but I want to talk to you about something. It's no big deal, but blah, blah, blah. And we start talking, and so the tone is down. We're able to talk it out, and it's great. Back then, we just were so defensive and insecure that everything escalated. And so that's why I was saying, talk about your feelings. They may be real, but they're not necessarily right. So when I'm talking to Karen, I'm not saying, you did this, and this is what you meant. What I'm saying is, Karen, this is how I feel. I don't know what you meant by that, but this is how I feel. And so I'm not attacking her, and we're just able to process things so much better because we've just learned to talk. But that punishing silence is a very dangerous thing. Men do it just as often as women do it, and we need to sit down and talk things out, because when you go to bed on anger, things get worse.
Thank you for joining us. Experience the life-changing series Lifelong Love Affair on CD or DVD. Follow your interests and get social by connecting with Jimmy and Karen and the Ministry of Marriage Today on Twitter. Marriage Today's latest book, Lifelong Love Affair, is an essential tool couples can turn to again and again for inspiration and strength. Order your copy today. Become a rock-solid partner today and equip yourself with the tools you need for a successful marriage. $14, $28, or $56 per month. Choose the partnership level that's right for you. Become a rock-solid partner today.